You're obviously here because you saw the video I posted on Instagram. And I'm here because I received so many of your messages. Like, oh my god, it was so many. And the comments were popping off. I was like, wow. Okay, this deserves a YouTube response. Disclaimer, what I'm about to say is my personal opinion, so please don't feel attacked or offended. I just want to share my experiences. So, why did I stop smoking? Is because I started getting anxious. I'm not an anxious person, straight up, I'm not. And then when I started feeling anxious in my head, in my body, in my chest, in my lungs, I was like, this is something not good for me anymore. It's not good. And I'm hitting another decade where I ask myself questions like, do I want to be stuck doing the same things? Do I want to make a change? What can I let go of that I'm so attached to and be okay without it? Boom. It was that. It was like ganja. You gotta do it because that shit is not good for you anymore. And nowadays, the way their strains are made, they're dusted things. They're putting in other things. I don't even know the technical terms. I don't. And the only thing I know that like people put in is graba, to be honest. And I did do a bunch of that when I was working at this bakery, but that was not even good for me. That made me so anxious. It's so strong. But people from the Bronx love it. I'm like, damn, y'all could hang. So the reason why I stopped is because it made me feel that way. And then I also learned that the strains have been dusted with things and added on different things. And the government want to put this and this and this. So it's not natural anymore. You got to go to places like, you just got to know the people to have the right things. And I did. I know people who locally grown and stuff. It's just that it kept making me anxious. I'm gonna bake a rotisserie chicken while I talk to you guys. I've started in 2012. The first time I tried it was high school and I didn't like it. It just made me so tired and sleepy. And I just think I was just a little too young for that. My body did not need it. I was naturally like energetic and hyper. And so the ganja just gave me a different feeling. And I remember I told my friend I have to go home and she just put me on the bus and I went home. But it was up until college, my second year in college, when I wanted to try it again. My friends were doing it like it was taking a breath, you know, it was easy for them. And I was like, I remember how this made me feel. I'm not sure if I want to do it, but I did it. And I remember it felt good. And so I started getting high. So throughout my college years, I did it. Didn't abuse it, but I did it whenever I want, however I want. I've never had the problem where I get so anxious or depressed or I can't function, because I could. That's why I kept doing it. I loved it. It was like a really nice level that it was taking my thinking and my thoughts. Yep, I made lots of friends in college. I really did. I vibed with so many people. And then, you know, it was time for me to go to grad school. And I realized that I'm going to a whole nother country and I won't have it. I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be different. How am I gonna function without it? You know? I started thinking that. So then in 2016, I went to England for drama school. I'm gonna crack this a little. So then in 2016, I went to England. And there were moments where I'm like, oh man, it would be so good to have it right now. I feel so good. I'm discovering so much in drama school. I love this. I would love to get my hands on it. And then boom, it happened. There was this group of people that I met at the park and I was like, you know, I'm a spit game. I got what I wanted. But in all seriousness, I met so many people from different countries that I've traveled to that connected us because of ganja. You know, ganja was the one that brought us together. We talked and I have some really good stories. I have no regrets whatsoever. Like for instance, I went to Amsterdam twice. I loved it so much. And my friend visited me at the time. So then we just hopped on a train and went to Germany. And then he was like, yo, imagine like if we could get, and I was like, don't worry, I got you. So I saw like this couple and they were walking. And I was like, I feel like he's the wingman. He got it like that. So I went up to them and I talked to them. And he laughed and he was like, how'd you know I got? And then in Germany as well, we met another girl who took us to her brother's place. And she went upstairs. We were sitting outside. We were waiting for it. So my point is, I knew I had to get it when I traveled. Because, you know, that's a vibe. There's so many. I was in Africa. Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother story. Oh, it was amazing. I was walking with the lions and I was zooted. I was like, oh my god, this is insane. What a life. Yeah. So I had a good time. It was up until the pandemic, okay? It was the pandemic where I was like, I feel like everybody's gonna die from this virus, so might as well just do the thing and have fun. And I did. I got my hands on it. I was in the room chilling, like I was also creating content. So I wasn't just like, wow, life. No, I was creating content. I was writing. So I was very functional. I was a creative high. But then, boom, it hit me. While I was in my room, I started feeling like my voice was stifling, my heartbeat was dropping. I was just feeling so anxious, and I'm like, girl, you're just high, you're just overthinking, stop, relax. And I did that to myself maybe a couple weeks of trying to convince myself, you're just high, relax, it is what it is. But I started feeling my chest, I felt my head, I started getting anxious. I didn't want to go downstairs, I didn't want to see people. I like, this is different. So when the first lockdown was lifted, I met up with my friends, and we went for lunch, and then we were smoking and stuff. And then I started feeling it again out in public. I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't be feeling this way. So I started monitoring it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to discipline myself. I have to discipline myself. They said one of the keys to success is discipline. So do I want to keep stuck in this lifestyle or use it and elevate? And every time I would use it, I would not elevate. I'm like, damn, my thinking, like I just kept thinking about how anxious I am, my heartbeat, my breath, my head. I was like, this can't happen. So I straight up stopped. I said, okay, I'm gonna give you a week. And I did. And I was looking forward to the day where I was meeting my friend so we can siph. And then when I was siphoning with him, I felt the same thing. I was like, this is not right. What is going on? So then I said, you know what? I'm gonna take 2 weeks. And I did. And so I said, this is interesting. But I love ganja so much I can't give it up. That's like part of my identity. All my friends know me because of it. What are they gonna say? Like this? So then last year was the moment where I was like, all right, enough is enough. That was in August. I think a friend had came to visit me, and we chilled, and she was like, I have it, do you want? And I'm like, yeah, you're such a good vibe, I'm gonna do it with you. And I felt the same thing. I was like, this is not me. Why is this happening, yo? I don't understand. So when she left, I made a promise to myself. I said, okay. And like a day later, I was flying out to Argentina. I said, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna seek out it, nothing. Let's just see what happens. So I wrote it down and I said, I have given up and and then when I got to Argentina, it was presented to me. And I said, wow. And this is locally homegrown. And it smelled amazing. But the desire wasn't there to do it. I was like, oh shit, this is different. Because this is the girl that would go to different countries and try to find it. But now it's given to me. And it's a test. So I took it and I kept it with me throughout the whole trip. I didn't smoke it. When we went to this club, there were people who were smoking and they passed it to me and I said, no, thank you. And then I turned around and I smelled. I said, wow, this is self-discipline. Because I remember how it would make me feel. Anxious, agitated, aggravated, my head, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't want none of that. I'm in Argentina. I'm with my boo. I want to have a good time. So after that whole trip, when I came back, I was so proud of myself. I said, I'm not going back. And that was August 2023. We are now almost ending of January 2024. And I feel so good. And when I tell you all the work that I've done between those times to actually tell myself, hey, take a week. Hey, take 2 weeks. You can't do that? Take 2 days. You can? All right. So I will tell you all the work that I've done to get me to this place, but I have zero regrets. I feel incredible. My thoughts are clear. My thoughts are clear. All the voices, this 8 million voices that I had in my head when they diminished. And so now it's like clearer thoughts. It's like, yo, What's your goal today? Yo, are you set up for success? Yo, 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 you know, like, what's your desire? What's your plan? What's your passion? All of these things. And I strongly feel because my partner doesn't smoke, it was easier for me to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Because when I did it and he was around, he was just like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to smoke, but I can do it. And I just felt like, damn, he's naturally like funny and awesome and crazy, silly, energetic. And he don't want to do this? That's crazy. Everybody want to smoke weed. I don't know why he don't. And so I kept doing it, but then I realized it kept making me anxious. I just had to stop. I just had to do it. And then when I told him, he was like, it's about time. I'm like, damn. So yeah, I do have to give him a shout out because he really did help me. And that's the thing, most of my friends do it. I was kind of afraid that my friends won't want to be friends with me anymore. That's such a shallow thinking, but I was like, damn, like that was a big part of our hangout, you know? And now that I don't do it and I tell them, hey, you know, I don't, what is the vibe gonna be? And I tried it. And the vibe, a couple people like fell off. It was kind of weird. Like they were smoking, getting, like having a good time. And we were having like good conversations, but I just felt like the shift was needed. And so those are still my friends, but I keep them like, you know, over there. Like they're a good time. They could do whatever they want, but you stay over there, please. Thank you. But I do have this one brother. I mean, he has access to it 24/7. And he respect the fact that I'm done. And so when he came over, he was like, I mean, I smelt it and everything. I was like, oh, this smells so good. He was like, no, but you're done. And I'm like, yes, I am. So he, you know, you need people like that who are like, yo, we respect your decision. Well, here's mine. I'm gonna just light this doobie up. And but like you know, chill, relax. So I want more people like that around me. But basically, this is what your chicken should look like, you know, well seasoned. So now that I give you some backstory, here's how I actually did it. I journaled a lot. I wrote a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot. When I tell you, I would wake up and even if it's one sentence that would come to my mind, I would just write it. And I started writing a lot more about ganja. That was never the theme for me. And it made me scared because I'm like, I'm gonna let go of this big part of my life. And you know what they say, when you're scared, you're doing something right. And so the universe was talking to me. It was like, girl, this your time. And exactly what I did, I was like, I gotta practice what I preach. In that August, when I stopped, I felt my most healthiest. I felt so good. And then a couple months after not doing it, I felt my body shifting. I felt my mindset shifting. I just felt not corrupted and clouded by physically the smoke or other thoughts in my head. It was clear, like the direction I was going was clear. And the signs I were getting was like, this is good. You're doing good, Sandy. And I was like, oh my God. Now you should know I come from a family where they don't do this at all. So even making this video, I don't know who's going to be watching. I'm so sorry, but I'm just, you know, I want to share and share and share because knowledge is power. So none of my families are influenced by it at all. It was just me. So in that way, I was surrounded by people who didn't do it, which was fantastic. And then when I met my partner, he didn't do it at all. And it was amazing. I was like, oh shit, these are all signs. He's an amazing person. He does not need it. And I'm like, I need to be around you more. And then I spent a lot of time in nature. When I visit my sister in Puerto Rico, we go to the water, the jungle. I went for a lot of walks. It cleared my mind. When it's raining outside, I love the rain. I just, you know, would appreciate it. When it's sunny outside, I love that I would bask in the sun. Just, I surrounded myself with nature and animals. Except cats. I love them, but I'm allergic. I'll be like, you know, so. But I believe that was the biggest key to this, nature. And though I made a comparison saying that nature doesn't always give us good things, well, I still stand by that because make it make sense for me, like poison ivy, stingrays, all these kind of things. Like not everything nature gives us is good. So let's seek the good ones, okay? I think I started going on a lot of walks, mainly by myself, and I started enjoying my own company a lot more because I don't have any, like I love my friends, but I don't have anyone's opinions or thoughts influencing mine. And obviously you see me eating fruits. I make sure I eat about 3-4 fruits a day. In my household, there are always fruits, always fruits. My parents, when I go there, they're always eating fruits. I'm like, wow, I love this. I love this. You know, fruits is good for the body. Even when I used to fruits, I would eat fruits immediately after, because I hated how it made my throat feel, like physically. I just hate it. And then the other tip that really, really helped me is to get rid of everything that reminded me of it. My friend gave me a mug, and it was like kind of like a little bong kind of thing. I just put it away in the attic. I was like, thank you so much for that, but I don't need it. And the only thing I kept was my lighters, because I like candles. I love candles. And another thing that I really, really loved was saving a lot of money. Girl, I was saving a lot of money. I took that money and I bought the fresh whole foods and the fruits. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to work the thing. And my final tip would be to read self-help books. Start Deepak Chopra, 7 Spiritual Law of Success. Start something like that. Because I read so much, it gave me a different kind of discipline. And that's the word of the day, discipline. And that's really what we all need, discipline, really good discipline. So if you learn to master that, you will be good, I promise. I'm still learning and growing every day. Like this is a constant practice that I'm doing, and I feel so much better about it. That's why I made that video. I feel clean, I feel light, I feel healthy. My clarity of focus is incredible. And another thing, my dreams were clearer. I have a legit journal that I write down my dreams, because when I wake up it's so vivid. I'm like, oh my god, good, bad, happy, sad, whatever it is. It's very vivid, and I just write it down, the images and stuff. And the last tip I would give you is to surround yourself with people who can elevate you. You need to grow. You need to elevate. If this is a part of your lifestyle and you're happy with it, that's perfect. Don't forget discipline and to elevate yourself. Find ways to make that work. But if you're stuck and you find yourself coming home from work and just rolling up, smoking and doing the same routine constantly, then you're not going anywhere. Basically, you're stuck in a pattern. Figure out how, if you smoke, figure out how the ganja can help you elevate. If you need to stop. If it's difficult, try 2 days. If it's really difficult, try 1 day. If it's super difficult, you really need it, try 1 J a day. Try it. But I strongly feel like you can do this. I have so much faith in you. Trust me, it's a long time coming. And I'm really happy that I made this video. Even if it doesn't impact anyone, I feel good releasing it. And I know years from now, I can go back and look at it and be like, wow, look at her. But I know where I'm at. I know my purpose. I know my intention. And I'm good. Seriously, take care of yourself the way you need to. And if you ever want to come back to this video and try your hardest, I believe you can do it. And I hope you have a good day. Truly. Wow. Last one. Take.